Good morning, everyone. It is Wow Wednesday, and if it's Wednesday morning, it must be time for your midweek boost of motivation, education, and inspiration. I am your host, Nancy Matthews, and I'm one of the founders of Women's Prosperity Network, along with my two sisters, Trish Carr and Susan Winter. And I want you to drink that in for a moment. We are three sisters, same mother, same father, growing up in Brooklyn, New York, who have been working together in this company for the past 13 years. And we are honored that we get to create this space for your family of choice when it comes to continuously growing yourself, your business, and bringing your impact to the world in a bigger way. So if you're watching right now and you're not a member of our family, join us. Come over for Sunday dinner. I'm making sauce. It's going to be so good. That was my Brooklyn showing up. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us for this Wow Wednesday. Congratulations to you for pausing to take time out to find some ways to make life easier, smarter, and more profitable. Today, I am bringing you one of our longtime sisters, members, Cheri Martin. Welcome to Wow Wednesday.
Oh, thank you, Nancy. I'm excited to be here as always. I love Wow Wednesday. It is that boost of energy we get every midweek.
Yeah, I love that at the end of our sessions on Wow Wednesday, people will get into the queue because we're going to do some question and answer. We'll go for about 30 minutes and then we'll open up for Q&A. So if you have questions about how to simplify social media, hang in and you'll get the opportunity to ask your specific questions. And one of the first things that happens after every conversation and guest that I have on the show is people go, wow, that was amazing. I'm like, I know, that's why we call it Wow Wednesday. It ties together. So let's go. I'm going to go ahead and kick off, introduce you to Cheri Martin, who's been a member of Women's Prosperity Network. I think it's 11 years now, maybe even 12.
Yes, 2010, since 2010. Yes.
11 years. She is also one of our chapter leaders in the Brevard, Melbourne, Florida area. And I think you're doing an in-person event maybe soon, I heard about.
In December. Yay, we are so excited.
It's fantastic. I'm hoping I'll be able to come up for that.
We hope so too.
So things are, coming together again. Let's call it that, because there is no going back to normal, right? So
that's right.
Together again. And Cheri is a social visionary, and she has been in the business and in the field of online marketing for a long time. Get a load of this, 22 years. I'm not even sure I had a computer 22 years ago.
I was 13 when I started.
There you go. Sharing some simple steps for social media so that you can have more peace, more calm, and get stuff done, actually get results. So let's dive right in today, my friend.
All righty, awesome. Well, when you asked me to come join, I thought, what would be most valuable thing that I could bring? And I really feel that what I'm hearing from so many business entrepreneurs is that social media can be so overwhelming, and it does zap a lot of time and energy from us. And they're almost ready to does this really work? Do we really want to do this? But we know we have to. I mean, social media, especially this last almost 2 years now, what would we have done without the Zoom, without the platforms? How would we have stayed connected? So I always say, let's look at the positive side of social media and what it can do for you and your business. There is a way to get some growth in your business by using the social platforms. And I know that sometimes you might feel like a hamster spinning on a wheel because there is so much coming at you at one time. And there's so much to think about. We wear so many hats as sole entrepreneurs and small business owners today. But I know that everyone's really and I heard that from the beginning when we first got started this morning, everyone is really ready to eliminate the overwhelm and start getting results. Let's kind of find some simple steps that we can do that. And trust me, I believe that social media is less overwhelming and so much more fun and yummy when you actually get more clicks, clients, and cash. And That's my belief. And
wait a second. If you want more clicks, clients, and cash, go ahead and say CCC in the comments or the chat below. So yes, clicks, clients, and cash.
Yes, right? So what I wanted to do this morning is share what I call simple steps. Now, when I say simple, it doesn't mean that it's not going to take any work, because I never pretend to anyone that I work with when I teach them strategies. It does take work. And what I mean by that, it takes us doing some action. And so these simple steps for social media success is really just putting the social into social media. That's what we have to remember, that the social sites are communication platforms. So it's up to us to really be making sure that we're having conversations out there, not just posting. And that's why you have to really be putting that, social into social media. So, definitely grab a piece of paper, a pen, and I'm going to actually break down the word social. So SOCIAL, let's get social for results. All right. Now, there is a great quote out there. I love it. I know many of you have heard me say this if they've been to any of my presentations, but we don't have a choice whether we do social media. The question is how well we do it. Again, we don't have a choice whether we do social media, but the question is how well we do it. And that is a quote by Eric Qualman. And when I first jumped into social media back in 2010, I bought his book on, really just having engagement. It was all about engagement. I learned early on what social media was all about. And it's whether you want to get more subscribers on your YouTube channels or more followers on Instagram, you want to grow your business. And without a plan, that almost is not going to happen. So that's the first thing we need to remember, is we need to have a plan of action. And that's where this all starts. And the plan needs to include, of course, the action steps on how to be intentional in all that you do on social media, all that activity, and there is a lot. But we need to remember, we want to have that activity help us to be more visible, credible, and of course, profitable. So visibility, credibility, profitability. That's really what we want to strive for when we're out there on social media. And that plan, did you want to ask a question?
I do. Let me ask a question.
Okay, yes.
Because yes, we want, clicks, clients, and cash, visibility, credibility, profitability. And where I see myself getting, overwhelmed or confused is not just that there are so many different platforms, but it kind of feels so noisy. Like when I go on to Facebook, I feel like I might be, and I know we're broadcasting on Facebook as well, but I feel like I might be, walking into a really, really crowded restaurant with plates clanking. And so here I am. And how do I get people to see me, to hear me, which, isn't that what we all want?
It really is. And so that's the start of the six simple steps for social media success, is that the plan that we have to put together is all about how you show up. We have to show up. And what I mean by that, you want to be able to stand out, to be noticed, as well as, but you need to be authentic, be bold, be a disruptor. But definitely be yourself, be authentic. So to kind of cut through that clutter, you have to start focusing on making sure you're connecting with those individuals that know, like, and trust you. Start there. Don't start going out and prospecting for people that don't know you. Start building a community. And that community would then help you to show up even more, because they're going to give you that greater reach. So yeah, there is a lot of noise and clutter. In fact, what is it? 1% reach now from a business page. If we post on our business page, it's very doubtful that you'll reach all your fans and your followers. I'm going to kind of share a tip here in just a little bit about how we can kind of work that system a little bit. Can't ever hack anything on social media, but there are things we can do to work it. But yeah, definitely the clutter is out there. So showing up is going to help you start breaking through that clutter, because people are going to see you more. And that's where you learn, and people, see you more. Now you're going to be known before you're needed. And that's the thing. We don't want to get onto social media and start promoting our products and our services or selling ourselves. We really want to start having those conversations and letting individuals know that you're here. What are their questions? What, how can I help you? Just, be more engaged with them. And we'll break a little bit of that down more so. But when you show up, you have to make sure that you're showing up with purpose. So that's the key. Show up with purpose. Woody Allen says that 80% of success is just showing up. So when you start showing up with purpose, now you are breaking through into 80% of doing that.
And let me piggyback on that too, because you said showing up with purpose. You talked about intentionality when you get on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm reminded this past weekend, we just finished up our sales and marketing boot camp. And there's this balance between selling, wanting to sell so that you have money for your business,
Mm-hmm.
and then showing up to be of service. So what I know to be true that absolutely works is that when you're showing up, is your purpose to sell or is your purpose to serve? And what you talked about a moment ago is, showing up, let people know what your area of expertise is, be available to answer questions, let them get to know you, like you, and trust you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sales will follow. But if you show up and your intention on social media is buy my stuff, 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 that's white noise that people aren't going to connect to. And what you said, you got to be known before you're needed. So get known by
Mm-hmm.
showing up and sharing tips and answering questions and creating that community. And when you're needed, you'll be the go-to expert.
Precisely. I mean,
I've
very
learned
well said.
that over the years.
I mean, that's so true. It's like, it's the actions that you take and the content that you produce that's going to really help others out there know you and like you and trust you and want to reach out to you. So that's where that purpose really comes in. The other thing is, how people perceive your business online and what they say about you and how they engage with you also makes a big difference. That's where you have to make sure you're showing up in your authentic self. And, but still, I like to say, be that disruptor. I mean, what I mean by being a disruptor is you have to be unique and stand out to be noticed, definitely. But if you really stand in your own self and your own value, that's what comes through and how you can showcase that. And then also, we all know, as I mentioned, especially on Facebook, only a 1% reach possibility anymore on our business page, but yet that business page is so vital that we have. And what we need to do is we need to see, how do we stand out with regard to those algorithms? We kind of like those nasty little filters out there. They are in control of how we are seen on the social platforms. And I will say, I said you cannot hack them, but you can learn to work them. And the key is, especially on Facebook, is that when you make your message more appealing to people by creating posts that speak, to them, it will produce more engagement. And the more engagement that you get produced on your posts, now I don't mean reactions, I mean actual comments, and then you going in and engaging and continuing that conversation going, the algorithms take notice. And that's how you get put back into the newsfeed and are seen by more of your fans and followers.
Let me drill down on that for a moment, because it's an area of confusion for me, as well as I know others. Mm-hmm. So number one, for your business, you do want to have a Facebook business page.
Yes.
And on that business page, you want to put posts that are more likely to create engagement, things that speak to whatever mm-hmm. your community and your business is about in that area of expertise. When you post something and you get likes, or you post something and you get comments on there, you mentioned going back in and commenting on those comments. And I think that's a step that many people miss.
They do. And that's why, Nancy, I was a social media manager for a number of years. I mean, probably about a good 9 solid years. And one of the emphasis of mine to my clients is I can post for you all day long, but that's not going to get you anything. It's the engagement. It's actually putting the content out there and then you taking the time and making those comments. I can make the comments for you, but if these people know you, I can't be your voice. So a good social media manager will find out how to be the voice of their client, but also involve that client. It's their platform. It's them that people want to get to know.
Yeah, so it reminds me, let's it's the social aspect, the networking aspect. Let's say you walk into a room to a conference or a networking event, and you walk in and you say, "Hi, everybody, I'm Nancy," and I give a tip. Did you know that when you can stay committed to the outcome for your client more than selling them a product or service, you'll do better. And then lots of people start talking to me and commenting, and I ignore them.
Yeah.
Right. That's what it could feel like if you're not getting back in. It's like people responded. You got the result you wanted by sharing your tip, but then you're not taking it to that next level.
Exactly. And that's part of that showing up. It's not just showing up and having a social site and posting. Now it's taking that time to really get involved. And that's where that relationship marketing comes in as well. And that's how you're going to stand out and be noticed and be known before you're needed. And that brings me to that second step in these 6 simple steps, is that it's all about the online platform that you're on. And so what I mean by that is you have to choose the right social media platform for your business. You don't need to be on all of them. I mean, there are so many of them and more new ones constantly popping up. I know when Clubhouse first came out, I'm a droid. I couldn't get on. I had that FOMO, that fear of missing out. I'm going to be honest. I can get on now. I have an account. I never get on. It's not, to me, all it's cracked up to be, but because I know that Facebook and LinkedIn are my 2 go-to sites. They serve me well, and I'm able to serve others well on Facebook and LinkedIn. But there's Snapchat, there's TikTok, of course, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram. All of these platforms are great platforms. You have to understand which is the right platform for you and your business. And what I mean by that is you have to be clear. And it gets into a little bit, I'll talk about that ideal client, as well as where they're hanging out on. You want to be where you can reach your prospective clients. So I would say master one. Yeah, definitely go and grab your handles, so to speak, your names on the other social platforms if you feel you'll use them. But don't try to be everywhere, because then you're going to be nowhere.
Well, and that's another area that I think can feel overwhelming, is how do we simplify? So what I'm hearing is, choose your online platform, the letter O in the word social that she's breaking down. Choose your online platform, and how do you know which one is the right one?
Yeah, and that's where you have to be so clear in who you want to reach. And then find out where they are. And that's one of the things I do when I went to in-person networking events. I would ask individuals, as we're having conversations, if they're active on social media. And if they say yes, and I definitely wanted to continue that conversation with them, I'd ask them which one and if they'd like to connect. And that way we could continue that conversation. I would just go out and ask people. And as I've narrowed down now who my target market is, so to speak, I know where they're hanging out, and they're on Facebook and they're on LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. So that's where I am. And as I said, that's the online, those are the platforms I've been able to master and really have some great results coming from. I'm getting those clicks, clients, and cash from those 2 platforms.
Hey, we like those. All right.
So
let's keep on moving.
All right.
Breaking down the word social. The first letter S stands for show up.
Yes.
The letter O is the online platform. Choose one, master it, and then add others on, and really ask your clients, do a survey, call people up, have Zoom conversations. Hey, which platform do you spend the most time on? Which one are you most comfortable with? Like, ask them and find out. Letter C
is consistency. We know that that is one of the key ingredients for us to be showing up consistently as well. But it's crucial to make sure that you are practicing what I call social media brand consistency. In other words, we show up, but is our brand showing up with us, or are we scattered everywhere? For our audience to recognize our brand, first you have to be consistent, but it also means that you can't be scattered. You have to find a balance in your posting. I'm often asked, if I post on Facebook, do I take that same post and put it on LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram? Yes and no. I mean, yes, you want to make sure that you're posting on all the platforms you're active on, but when you're posting a post, change it up for the tonality of that site, because LinkedIn's tonality is so much different than Facebook. And now all of the platforms have, the usage of hashtags where they didn't in the past. So we have to be very conscious of who we are wanting to read our message on the platforms that we're on, and how would they read it. You can get by with a lot more casualness on Facebook versus on LinkedIn. It is more professional. And there are some things we post on Facebook we wouldn't want to post on LinkedIn. However, when you are consistently, as far as your aesthetic, how you are shown, how you are, your appearance on the different platforms, meaning, are you using the same profile picture? So if I went to one platform and then another, would I recognize you? How about your cover image? Is that the same?
You want to have that same visual experience.
Yes.
On all the different platforms. So yeah, I'm thinking about it now. My LinkedIn looks very different than my Facebook, and my Instagram and my Google My Business is a picture from like 8 years ago.
Yeah. And it's also by trying to, if at all possible, getting the same name or the handle on these. Like I'm not able to, but I have some kind of a variant, so I have the So Social or Social Cheri or So Social Visionary. So it's recognizable. I have the same on all my on my business platforms. I have the same profile picture. My banners are pretty much similar, or I might, like LinkedIn, I have it just a little tab different because I created something, but I still have my banners behind me. And I changed those banners out too on seasons. So I think right now my Facebook banner might be a little different because of something I'm promoting, but it's just, I know that if someone goes from one site to another, they're going to know this is Cheri, this is me.
And it should have the same feel. So let me use I'll use a supermarket as an example. Whether I go to Publix in Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach, or Atlanta, it has the same feel. So, and that builds trust.
Yes, so exactly.
You want to stand out, you want to create relationships, you want people to buy from you. People buy based upon trust. So let me say, everyone, that tip, by creating that brand consistency that she's talking about, will help you get more clicks, clients, and cash. So one takeaway that I'm going to put into action, and I recommend we all do, is have that consistent brand show up across platforms. Beautiful.
Definitely. And that's going to really then help the individuals that are following you or connecting with you, or they're checking you out, whether or not they feel comfortable enough, well, she really, or he is really, very secure in what they are sharing. They're confident in what they're doing as well. So that's really important there. And along that line, when it even comes to the content across the different platforms, make sure that you're consistently writing for your audience and not for you.
What's that distinction? Writing for your audience as opposed to writing for you. What's that distinction?
Well, in other words, we tend to think we know what our audience wants to hear. We need to make sure we're asking them what they want to hear, and then provide them knowing what their challenges are, what their some of their problems or struggles are. That content needs to be relevant to them, not to us, so that they actually see, it can be more, they recognize that you recognize them and that you're interested in them as well. So I think many people think that I'm just going to make sure I'm posting consistently, and I'm just going to put links to articles all the time. Well, how is that really? Yes, it's great resources for your audience, but is that really what they're asking for? So that's what I'm saying. What are they asking for? And that's what you need to be writing and posting in your marketing messages. And that brings us, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I bet we're ready for the letter I.
And that's what brings us right into, again, that fourth step is identifying your audience. When you are consistently composing your marketing messages for a specific audience, you're going to be attracting more of that audience, which is, again, going to help you to stand out and definitely be known and seen as the person that they're seeking for solutions. And so you have to understand them. And I know that through WPN, we go through, and I have the coaching and such through the really working out who our ideal audience, who our ideal client is, the target market, and there's a lot of variance there. But what you need to understand, of course, is I always ask my clients, who have you worked with? What were some of their struggles? What were the solutions you provided? And now, how can you find more of those individuals? That's the audience you need to be seeking out and identifying. If you've had great successes and you're passionate about what you did to help them, find more of those individuals. They're there. And that's where you need to understand, again, where do they hang out so that you're on those platforms.
Listen to how simple she just made that. I mean, really.
What did I say?
It just for social media. And yeah, we want to do activities and drill down and know their problems and how they talk about it, like all those layers that we teach. And just start off by who are some of the people you serve? What were their struggles? Find more people like them. What kind of business were they in, or what kind of situation were they in? There's more people like them. Like it can
definitely
be simple.
And I'm sure, I have a book of what I call FAQs, frequently asked questions. And people are, no matter where I am networking, whether it's online or in person or, having one-on-ones, there's a lot of questions coming at me. I keep track of those questions because I kind of categorize them in the priority that I'm hearing the same question over and over. That helps me understand who my client is, what they're searching for, and it helps me write my marketing message as well. So that when I'm putting that message out on social media, it attracts that ideal client. And that's a great way to find that ideal audience.
Love it. Love it. All right.
So number 5.
I love it. And we'll be opening up for questions in just a few minutes. So I've seen a few in the chat. We'll open it up in just a little bit. So I know you got them. We'll hear it.
Definitely. And everything just kind of rolls into the next step, because now it's all about authentic engagement. Mm-hmm. That's the A in social, authentic engagement. It takes 7 points of contact, before the people really remember who you are, whether and what you do, especially on social media. And again, that goes back to that consistency, right? So take your time to develop those relationships by interacting with them. And to me, interacting isn't just commenting or posting. Again, it's listening. I have a ritual where I will actually get on my news feed of all my platforms and just kind of scroll through, and I have keywords or something. Maybe I'm working with a specific client, or maybe it's for myself, or maybe I know someone that is looking for a referral. I look through and just scroll through and look for keywords, something that pops out. That's listening on social media. And then being able to engage. If somebody asks for a referral and I know someone, I'm right there. I put it out there and I'll tag that person. Again, you're going to be seen, you're going to be known, and you're going to be someone. I love being able to be a giver. That's how I was taught how to network back in the BNI days. Business Network International was to be a referral for others. That's how you grow your business. Make a friend and grow your business. Definitely.
And let's drop in here that being a go-giver with the legendary, brilliant man, Bob Berg, is how you and I met.
Exactly.
And the reason there is a chapter in Brevard is because of my social media engagement and presence that connected me to Cheri who began the chapter there.
Yeah. And she was my client, and she, it's just like all that in the engagement, the authentic engagement, and just opening up and being friends with people. I just feel that too many people get on the social media, and the first thing they do is, like, as we kind of mentioned in the beginning, is you just start posting, and you're all about trying to get that sale. The sale will come when you are authentic and you are taking the time to get to know others, definitely. And that's where that authentic engagement comes in. I say, don't talk at your listeners, talk with them.
Small word, big distinction.
Definitely. And then that really is how you become, I call, sensational. From, we want to be sensational and be known before we need it, definitely. So that's that authentic engagement, is just definitely take the time to listen to what they're saying out there, and then you'll be able to serve them. Definitely. Number 6, the final simple step for success in social media, and that's leave them wanting more. We want to leave them wanting more. How do we do that? I mean, everything I just shared with you, to show up, to have being on the right online platform, to be consistent, to identifying your ideal audience, as well as having that authentic engagement. You want to be delivering tremendous value with all your social media content. Without the content, we would not have social platforms.
Right.
That's where the gold is. And you can bond with your audience over your content by ensuring that everything you write is created with their wants and their needs in mind. And that's what I mean by writing for your audience and not for you. Write with their wants and needs in mind. Now, according to Facebook's blueprint, creative best practices, they say you need to create content that does one of the following. It makes me cry, it makes me laugh, or it surprises me or provokes me. Surprises, provokes me. So how can you make me laugh or make me cry? How can you make me laugh, and how can you surprise me? That's Facebook's own blueprint for creative content. The emotion behind the content we're creating is what's really going to leave them wanting more. Again, you want to make sure you elicit that response from your audience, naturally be drawing them in with what you're composing out there. And then that content, you want it to inspire them to take action. So every time you post it there, what kind of call to action can you give them? They are, you might have some great content out there, but without a call to action helping them take that next step, most won't take any action.
Right.
After reading your post.
People need to be led, right?
Yes.
So
even if they enjoy it and derive some value from it, if you do not lead them where you want them to go, they won't go anywhere. And now you've lost that opportunity to have a new client, or to be able to serve someone or refer them or whatever. You never know where that can, it's like I always say, connecting presents possibilities, communicating opens up opportunities.
Connecting creates possibilities, communicating opens up opportunities. That was really good.
Yes.
Gold. I know Roz is going to capture that for us in the chat as well.
So presenting, connecting presents possibilities, and then communicating opens up opportunities. And we have to keep in mind that and this is where everyone gets so overwhelmed. The competition for our audience's time and attention is fierce. So the secret to really being successful, in my belief, on social media is not to compete. Just be yourself, be your authentic, be a disruptor, let people know who you are so that they are, remember you. And that's where you want to set yourself apart for sure. And that's how you can actually be more of an influencer from the crowd, really, by, creating and sharing that content and social posts that your audience really wants to consume. I mean,
love it.
That's the gist of it. I mean, that's how you become social. You want to be putting that social into social media, period. That's where you want to be.
Wise words from the social visionary. All
Thank
right.
you.
So I'm going to recap in just a moment, and then we'll open up for questions. So you can raise your hand. If you're on your phone, hit *6 and you should be able to unmute yourself. And Cheri is, when we were preparing for the call today, I was like, people are going to want more. And so what's next for them? Because it is so overwhelming, and they might be spending their time on one platform, but not getting the results. So Cheri has graciously offered to give you a strategy session complimentary. And like, she works with some pretty big companies. So this is golden, my friends. Say yes to the opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat. Cheri, tell them what they'll do during the session with you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I went and just, when I talked to Nancy last night, I just opened up through the rest of this month. I've opened up almost 25 different slots, so grab them. And I'll add more if you can't get in. You can always let me know. Message me on Facebook. But what I will share with you is it's 30 minutes one-on-one with us. We do it on the phone, and that way I don't always go into Zoom because I put these like 15 minutes after each other so that we can make sure we get everybody in. But we'll get on the phone, and for 30 minutes, when you sign up and register, there'll be 3 questions. I want to know, do you have a social media strategy? What platforms are you on? And what is it that you really want to achieve from our time together? Let's make it valuable. And we'll discuss, come to me with that question that you really, as a burning question, and we'll strategize about that. So we'll really narrow it down and see what the next step can be for us to be together.
Beautiful. So, and the link for that is to go to B as in boy, it.ly/Cheri Martin, CheriMartin, all one word, all lowercase. So get your session with Cheri at bit.ly/Cheri Martin, all one word, Cheri with a C. And one of the takeaways I really want everyone to get to simplify social media, she gave us lots of tips today, so I'm going to recap. Show up, we've taken the word social, show up, know your online platform, have consistency, not only with your content and your posting, but brand consistency across platforms. The letter I was about identifying your ideal audience, and she gave you a great golden nugget to simplify that. Who are your clients that you've already served? Get more people like them. Just like look at who's been there, right? And get more.
When you taught me that. Yes. Coaching with Nancy, yes.
A is to be authentic, and then L is to leave them wanting more. And one of the things that you talked about is have your posts, and you shared this from Facebook's suggestions. Anytime you put a post out there or a video, ask yourself this question: what emotion will this content evoke? Will it make them cry? Will it make them laugh? Will it surprise them? I would stay away from provoking, because that's a whole nother conversation.
I know Facebook had to throw that in, so I took that word for word. But I don't like to provoke anybody out there either.
And so there's the dark side of Facebook.
Yes. Don't go there.
Cry, laugh, or surprise. So let's stay there.
Yes.
Before you grab your session with Cheri, go to bit.ly/Cheri Martin, Cheri with a C, CheriMartin, and let's go. You can raise your hand or hit *6 on your phone if you would like to ask a question. And I believe we've got Roz. You can go ahead and unmute yourself, and then I'll go to Laura Barker. I'll call your names and numbers in just a moment. Roz Knight in Warfield.
Hey, this has been awesome. You are loved, appreciated, celebrated, valued, and most cherished. I'm already booked, so I'll see you next Wednesday, a little bit after. And I guess when I come with you, I guess I want to talk about the scheduling of how to do it. So that means that what Nancy's been teaching me for, how do I say it, Nancy, blocking, the block calendar. So I need to add that component. I do Facebook much easier. I'm not an expert of it, but all that other stuff that's going on, I'm trying to get in LinkedIn thanks to Laura and Dr. Patricia, but it's overwhelming to me. I want to be overflowing. So I want to talk about harmonizing those tools. And then if we can talk about, I'm going to try and look up every single thing I've ever had. How can we change according to that carrier or that social media, change handle names where they're the same?
That's a good question. Yeah. And sometimes, I mean, most of them are very easy. So I will look forward to our conversation together on that, because all of those things that you mentioned, and I loved how you said harmonizing, because that's that consistency. I love that word, harmonizing. So I look forward to our time together, Roz. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I don't do well with balance, but harmony is my word. But thank you so much.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, Roz. Thank you.
And I'll share that one of the things that I did, like I could not get just Nancy Matthews across all the platforms, but I could get Nancy Matthews speaker. So if you look for me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and I think YouTube as well, it's the same handle.
Yeah.
So think about it.
Yeah. See my website. I couldn't get Cheri Martin, but I have the Social Visionary, which my new website, Dottie Scott, will be out there. Hopefully by the end of the month.
Remember, like our community, our family has it all for sure.
Yes.
Beautiful. Let's go to our next caller, and that is Laura Barker.
Yeah, Laura.
Good morning. Oh my goodness,
Laura.
Cheri, what value you provide. And you know, a lot of you guys know that I am like a LinkedIn fanatic. And I don't really do much on Facebook, just to be honest, right? But, you know, the great thing about our community and about Cheri is such an knowledgeable across the platforms, you know, and one of the things that I just really honed in on today is the need for that consistency across the platforms, you know. And it's not even just consistency in the handle. I know that when you have your call with Cheri, she's going to talk to you about the need for consistent messaging across the platforms. And even though that messaging might look different a little bit in the way you say it or the way you do it on, you know, Instagram versus LinkedIn versus Facebook, the core message is going to be the same. Would you agree with that, Cheri? Is that kind of what you're telling us here?
Oh, definitely. That's where your authentic self comes in. That's that core, that heart of the message, for sure,
Absolutely.
Laura. Yeah, definitely.
And you know, I've booked time with Cheri. Anytime I get a chance to pick her brain, oh my gosh, I am not gonna pass that up. Are you kidding me? So I don't care where you are in your journey. You know, you are going to learn from time with Cheri. Book your appointment now while you've got the opportunity, because this is a true gift. And it is a gift from Cheri. It is a gift within WPN, right? We all, what's that phrase? When all boats rise with the tide or whatever. That's what this is about. You know, this is about how we can really add value to one another on every level. And Cheri brings it every single time. So thank you again for these 6 tips. Just phenomenal. Laura, and I'll be talking with you.
Well, Laura, thank you so much. And I'll tell you what, when people ask me, why am I a member of Women's Prosperity Network? It's because of this. We hold each other up. There is no competition. It's all cooperation. If I get that out, cooperation. And I have had the opportunities over the years, especially this last year with everything that was going on, to be able to collaborate with so many amazing WPN sisters. And that's what I call it. This is my sisterhood.
Yes. And it is collaboration and co-opetition, guys.
Co-opetition, thank you.
This is the meaning of WPN. If there was one word I would use to say, what have I learned and gained from WPN? It's the notion of co-opetition and collaboration. Because we are here for each other, and there is no competition. And that is something that the men don't understand. I hate to say it, but guys, if you're on here, that just seems to be kind of a reality, right? And
Amen.
I love what WPN has done to promote the way that women can interact and support each other. And I love, Cheri, everything you have to say about social media.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you. And I love watching you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Laura and Cheri, for summing up the essence of what makes WPN different. We know you have lots of opportunities to attend networking events and online conferences and in-person events. And I promise you this, inside of our community, you will be supported, lifted up, and raised up by the others in the community, you know, second to no other experience that you'll have. So join our family. Remember, and I do believe the essence of what we're talking about here that you're describing, my friends, is because myself, Trish, and Susan, that's how we show up for each other in our families. Not everybody's family is supportive. This is the family that supports you, right? And in all walks of life. Yeah.
I'll say yes to that for sure. Okay. And I am blessed with a very supportive family, but you know, I've also been a member of a number of associations, and there's none like this at all.
Beautiful. So join us, become part of the family. Remember, I'm making requests for Sunday dinner. I'll have to figure out how to translate that over the airwaves. But let's continue. Make sure that you grab your session with Cheri. I have a feeling those spots she's opened up are going to fill up very quickly. I see lots of people on the Facebook community in the chat are already saying, I'm in on the phone. Awesome. Go to bit.ly/Cheri Martin, CHERIMARTIN. Claim your spot, and let's open up for our next caller. Area code 603, your line is open. I think you might need to.
Good morning.
Hi, who's that?
This is Mary Russell.
Hello, Mary Russell. Welcome.
Hi, Mary.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here, and I have snagged a spot as well. So yay.
Hey, I'm excited.
Thank you. My question is, you know, I do have a solid business, but I have found that the longer into my sharing and journey, and I think it's my lack of consistency, but I'm not getting the engagement. I'm a little stuck in my thinking of how to start these authentic conversations with people that I don't know. Most of my Facebook friends are people that I don't actually know at all. Anyhow, so how can where would I start if I feel like I'm just not getting anywhere with that and I just want to get some more activity, engagement, conversations, all those types of things? How can I start from where I'd say scratch?
Mary, I love this question because, again, it kind of goes back when I said these platforms are where we connect and they are communication tools. However, if the engagement isn't happening on the platform and you're connecting with the individuals, there's always the private message, or also maybe setting up a one-on-one with them, having a conversation off of the platform. And there's those, and on Facebook especially, and I will say I've been on LinkedIn since 2006, and the groups there used to be so robust, and they're not now. I always say Facebook's groups are where you really want to build community, and so I recommend that you find 3 to 5 Facebook groups that have that you can really fit in, and like-minded individuals, or individuals that you can have and start up conversations with. And even if it is, don't get into all industry type of groups, but being in 1 or 2 of those is fine, because that's where you find collaboration. And you may have a strength and someone else has another strength, and together you can bring those strengths and make an even more impactful movement and solution for other people that are looking for what you offer. So I would say definitely There's individuals that you have connected with, and that's what happens a lot of time on social media. We connect with individuals we don't yet know. I really try to reach out to them if possible and have a conversation with them, either, offline on the phone, the Zoom now, where you have, face to face. And then of course, get into 3 to 5 Facebook groups that you really can get more engagement in and have, more of, I guess, the relationships. That's where they can kind of start developing.
Right.
I hope that answers your question. Give you a little idea.
Thank you. I look forward to chatting. Yeah, that's wonderful.
And also ask on posting, ask questions. Don't just post stuff. Ask them a question. It might be a this or that. I mean, follow Jean Lanou. She, on her personal profile, every day she puts stuff out there. Trish is another one. I mean, when she did her toilet paper, do you put it on the roll over or under, look at the streams of conversation that gets you noticed by other people. It may seem silly, but that's how you get noticed. And then people start paying attention.
Really good. Mary, great question. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And I love your suggestion, Cheri, about joining groups and engaging in those groups. And here's the side benefit that's going to happen. It triggers the law of reciprocity.
Yes.
So when you show up in a group and you give, or you answer a question, or you ask a question, and you're connecting in that group, it's going to create curiosity, which then they're going to go to your profile, or they're going to go to your group just out of a natural way. You don't even have to say, go check me out. But when you show up and say something really good, and you probably have this behavior on your own, when you see something you like, oh man, like I do that with Adam Grant. I love Adam Grant's posts. So I see his post, I go to his page. I look for him on YouTube. I go to I see where else I can connect because I like what he shared.
Yep. I do the same thing. Very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So remember what's at play here. Don't worry about sell. Create engagement, deliver value, and that triggers the law of reciprocity.
Yeah. And my hashtag is, hashtag social is fun. Make it fun. I mean, who doesn't have fun having conversations with people that we can learn from? Think of what you can learn from them.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You're the one, my friend. In so many ways. All right, let's see. I love Lawana Bradford commented on Facebook group. Almost everything I know about showing up on social media, I've learned from Cheri. Yes. She is the best. She is the Bradford Group social media expert, and she's helped us 10 times.
Ooh, God, I just got goosebumps. Thank you, Lawana. I love you. And those are fun clients that I have. I just,
If you haven't taken Cheri up on her very generous offer to meet with you one-on-one, go to bit.ly/Cheri Martin, CheriMartin. And let's see, we may have time for one more question. If you have a question, post it in the chat or raise your hand or unmute your phone. You hit *6 to unmute your phone if you would like to do that. So let me just check in and see if there's anyone else before we wrap up today. Let me go to 404. You had yourself unmuted earlier. There we go. Good morning. Your line is open.
Good morning, Cheri.
Hi.
Good morning.
Who's this?
This is Angela Nelson again. Sorry,
Oh,
I've got a lot of background noise.
Awesome.
Hey, I just wanted to say thank you. And I just love your excitement and your enthusiasm and your vision of and mission of cooperating and not making it a competition like so many women have amongst themselves and within ourselves as well. So thank you for that. And I have signed up for one of your sessions, and thank you so much for that gift. And I look forward to speaking with you about this.
Awesome, Angela. I look forward to speaking with you. And for those of you that are signing up and I don't yet know you, that excites me, getting to know you as well. And this is just a great way to tap into that. And I will say, before I became a member of Women's Prosperity Network, I was a competitor. I grew up being very competitive in sports and music. And, that was such I had to really step back and understand. And I had a bad experience of working with somebody in a collaboration years ago that I almost lost our original business from. And so I was very shy of doing that. And this trusted community has allowed me to really, I guess, take those leaps again. And I say, I no longer dream small, I dream big and trust. So
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, so good. Angela.
That is awesome.
Yeah, you showed up on the right.
Thank you. And I feel the same way. This community, it has gifted us so much, and it's so much more fun and fulfilling to give than it is to compete.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, beautiful. Thank you, Angela. And again,
thank you, Nancy.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this Wow Wednesday. Be sure to grab your opportunity to meet with Cheri one-on-one. I booked. Everybody's sharing that. So kudos to all of you. Cheri, thank you for your wisdom, for your generosity, and for your consistently showing up for Women's Prosperity Network and our community. I love you, my friend.
My pleasure. And I love you, Nancy. Thank you for this opportunity and for inviting me to share. I so appreciate you, Trish, and Susan, and the whole community.
The whole community.
The whole community.
The whole family. Yes.
Yes.
So
my sisterhood.
Yeah, our sisterhood. Have a beautiful day, everybody. We'll be back next week with another wonderful Wow Wednesday. Bye, everybody. Bye, Cheri.
Bye-bye. Have a great Wednesday and a sweet, successful social week.